Hey everybody. Sorry I didn't see you yesterday, but here I am. Um, so I'm here to give you instructions on how to do your assignment for today. This is what we were going to start yesterday. So fortunately, we couldn't. So let me just go over something really quickly for you. I'm pretty sure I have a video about this, and I've showed you quite a few videos. That was your assignment yesterday, was to learn about the classification system. So let me just go over that with you. When we talk about the classification system, another word for that, for studying how organisms are classified, is taxonomy. And so we have a classification system that starts with domain. It goes domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. What you saw yesterday is kind of like it's like an upside down pyramid where we're very like general. Like we're in the same domain as every animal on Earth, every plant on Earth, that little pond stuff that you see in the pond, those little swimming guys like euglena and amoeba. We're in the same domain as them. So we're in the eukarya domain. So anything that's made of a eukaryotic cell, that is a cell with a nucleus, we are in the same domain. So domain is pretty general. And then we get more and more and more and more specific until we're talking about one species, like Homo sapiens. This little thing that I have here for you is a way that it can help you remember the groups of the taxonomic system in order. Dear King Philip came over for a good soup. It's got the same first letter as everything here. So that's a way for you to remember the taxonomic system. So we're going to do like a little project today, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to look at how to find something's entire taxonomic classification and then its scientific name. Now, when you're a scientist or when you're a regular person, you can see scientific names for things quite often. If you go to the zoo and look at the little plaque, you'll see the scientific name. If you go to the bird park, they'll show you the common name, and they'll probably also show you the scientific name for that bird. So what is the scientific name of a creature? It's the genus and species name. And so it's very important for you guys to realize this. It's always written in the same way. The genus is capitalized. The species is lowercase. So it's kind of like the first and last name, except the last name is not capitalized. So we have Panthera leo. That's a lion. Homo sapiens. That's us, humans. Okay. So that's a scientific name. So we're going to be classifying some living things. So what you're going to do is choose an animal. Look it up on Wikipedia. Help! We're not supposed to ever use Wikipedia. Right now I'm telling you to use Wikipedia. Is it the perfect resource? No. But for what we're doing, yes, it is a good resource. You're going to write out the classification of the animal from kingdom all the way to species. Every animal is in the same domain. Every animal is also in the same kingdom, but that's not the point. So we are just going to not use domain. And then we're not going to draw, we're just going to find a picture of the animal, and we're going to post it on a big phylogenetic tree that we're going to connect together. So I'm going to show you an example. That way you know exactly how to do it. So let me just start with that. Okay, let's see what we got here. Here's your class. Hi, class. So I have this big giant, you can think of this as a giant poster board that you guys are all going to share. Okay, so if you look here, look how tiny this picture is on this. That's because it's 60 by 60 inches. So this is like a 5 foot by 5 foot big giant poster you can imagine seeing. So that's why this looks very small. So this is like an example that I did that I'm going to use. This is the one that we're going to all share. Now these things can be moved around if they need to. Okay, so if you're doing something on this big page, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you need to move these around somewhere to fit yours in, you can do that. So let's start off with what you're going to do. You're going to pick an animal. Okay, I'd prefer you pick one that's not already picked. Okay, I'm going to pick a house cat so I can show you how it's going to connect with the lion that's already there. But I'm going to show you some other things too. So if I look up, oh, it's going to be Lunar New Year. Very exciting. If I look up penguin in Wikipedia, let's say you wanted to choose penguin. Now, what you do right here, here's penguin. It's above my head. My head is inconveniently placed. Here's a picture of a penguin, and here's the scientific classification. This is what you need. Kingdom, phylum, class. What's this clade? You didn't say about that. If they have extra things that we haven't talked about, like clade, super kingdom, infraorder, don't worry about those. Don't include those. We don't need to use those. Those are extra classification bits that scientists might use. But you might be looking at something like penguin and say, mine doesn't have all the way to genus and species. What do I do? Well, guess what? There's many types of penguins. There's many types of snakes. There's many types of sharks. So you have to be very specific. Like, for example, this is the chinstrap penguin. See his little beard there? But let's say I don't want that one. Let's say I want, oh, let's see, that one's, okay, maybe we'll go with this one. Yes, the Adele penguin, those are cute. So let's say, oh, this one's cute too. No, we'll go with the Adele penguin. So you have to kind of click through and find a specific species. Okay, some animals you already know their species, like lion or tiger. Those are their own species. But penguin, there's many different species. There's the Adele penguin, there's the emperor penguin, there's penguins that live in South Africa. There's Galapagos penguins. There's the macaroni penguins with the yellow sticking out. Okay, so there's many types of penguins. There's many types of other animals. So if you don't see all the way down to species, like this one, then you're going to have to click through and find a specific animal in that group. Okay, I used penguins as an example to show you there's many different types of penguins. But so here, if I wanted to have my penguin, this is the information that I would copy. Okay, I'm not going to use penguin though, even though I showed you. Well, then why'd you show us that, Miss Huff? I wanted to show you an example of an animal that has many different species, so you know what to look for. So let's just look up house cat. Look, how cute. Okay, see where it has things like subfamily and suborder? Don't worry about those. You don't have to include anything with them. So what I'm going to do, okay, now that I have this, I could probably copy and paste this, or I could just type it over. So what I'm going to do, I can either Google search a picture of a cat, or I can go insert image, girl, search from the web, and I can search for tabby cat. They're cute ones. Oh, look how cute. I have one that looks like that. I'll pick that one. Handsome. Okay, so now I have a picture of a cat. So now what do I want to do? I'm going to make a text box, and I'm going to get my taxonomic groups. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because it's going to need to be bigger on the next page. So I've got kingdom. We're going to go over these. You can say them with me. Pretend like you're like back in like preschool, and the teacher's like, okay, kids, say along with me, all right? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, girl. Sorry, girl's not one of them. Family, genus, species. Okay, those are the ones we need. What about subfamily, suborder? What if you don't need to do any of those? Okay, we're gonna skip those. So not to be weird, but I already know what the classification is for cats because I've done classification things before a lot. So cats are in the animal kingdom. So that's Animalia. Did I spell it right? Maybe. Phylum, they have a backbone, so they're in phylum Chordata. Oops. Class, they are in the same class as we are. They're mammals. So Mammalia. Why don't you just write mammals, Miss Huff? What an excellent question. First of all, see how it is written here. That's the name of the class. And these are Latin words. Many of our classification system names come from Latin roots. Okay, because this classification system was developed, wow, way back in the 1700s as a way of trying to group animals together. And it has expanded and gotten bigger since then. There's this guy, Carl Linnaeus, and he's the guy that invented it. He's the first person to kind of come up with the binomial nomenclature and the classification system. So thanks to that guy. Well, just to give you a hint, I'll mention this in class, but I want to make sure I mention it here on video. So the classification system hasn't stayed the same forever. Like, we don't have the same things. And sometimes something will get classified into a new group. Well, why? We might get new information. We might understand better, like, oh no, like this thing is not related to this at all. How do we know that? DNA, we have better technology to understand these animals, plants, and living things, so we can better classify them to understand how closely related they are, or maybe how far apart related they are. So the grouping, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, has been the same. However, where animals fall in those groups has changed as we've gotten better and better technology. Okay, anyway, order. They are not like us. They're carnivores. Carnivora. Family. They are in the cat family. Surprise. So that's Felidae. I know I'm spelling this wrong. Genus. Felis. I think they're just Felis catus. Yeah. Cat. Oops. And so what I'm going to do then is put this in italics. There we go. So now I've classified my cat. Look, he's handsome. My cat that looks like that, his name is Carlos, and that I've had for a lot of years. So, hey, Carlos Jr. So anyway, what I'm going to do now that I have my animal classified, I'm going to click on my cat and my information. I'm going to teach you a keyboard shortcut that you're going to like. So there's two. If you want to click on two things and have them both highlighted, you want to hold down that button that says Control, CTRL, and you can click on two things. Do you see how now I've highlighted both things? Or, ready for keyboard shortcut number 2 that'll make your life easier? There's one that says Select All. So you would select everything on the page. That is, hold down the Control button and press the letter A at the same time. I know you can't see my fingers doing that, but that's what I did to highlight everything. So I highlighted it all. Now I need to copy it. So Edit, Copy. Now I'm going to paste it right in here. So let's see. I'm going to add it in. Okay, well, I don't want to add it directly over the lion here, but let's take a look. Oh, okay, now let's take a look and compare the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. If you look, the lion and the cat share everything the same, all the way up to family. The thing that's different about them is their genus. So they're fairly closely related. So what I'm going to do, and what you guys are going to add into yours, I'm going to add a line, and all these lines are going to connect. Think of, where'd the line go? How did I mess that up? We don't know, Miss Huff. How did you mess it up? All right, let me just draw a line here. All right, are you gonna draw it? There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna make my line nice and dark so I can see it. So I've got a line. I might wanna. Can I make this bigger? Yeah. Okay, so then I've got another line that'll connect the cat to the lion. All right, so now I have lines that connect the cat and lion, and they're going to connect because they're closely related. What if I have, somebody in the audience is saying, what if I want tiger? Well, maybe if you had a tiger, you would need to put it very close to the lion and make their lines connect even more, because a tiger, its genus is also Panthera. It's Panthera tigris. So a tiger is even closer related to a lion than a cat. So maybe you put the tiger here and connect the line really close. What if I have a dog? Well, a dog, it's actually all the same up to order. It's the order Carnivora. They're carnivores. But their family is Canidae. Canine, Canidae, that's where the word comes from. I know, weird stuff. Well, so a dog might be like over here, and then you can connect their line together. So every person is going to add their own animal and their classification. You're going to put your animal close to things that are related to yours. What if I picked a worm? Well, a worm is not very closely related to any of those things. They don't have a backbone. The only thing they're going to share in common with the cat is the kingdom. So maybe they're all the way down here at the bottom. Okay, so closely related things we're going to keep together. How do I know they're closely related? What a great question. You're going to have to look and see how many of these groups they share. Cat and lion share 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups together. So they're very closely related. Okay, so they have to be close together. Something that shares 4 groups maybe will be close by, but not so close. Something that shares 3 groups would be farther away. Something that shares only 2 groups, they might be really far away. And something that's only shares 1 group is definitely going to be very far away. Okay, so you're going to see, you'll get a blank slide that you're going to put your animal on. And then you're also going to get this big document that you're going to be able to add your animal to. So at the end, we're going to have a big phylogenetic tree with all the animals in the class. If you do an animal, I would say check first on the big one and make sure your animal isn't already done. I'd prefer not to have two of the same animal. If you're like, oh man, I wanted to do penguin and someone else already did the Adele penguin, well, do the macaroni penguin or do an emperor penguin. Okay, so be creative, but also try not to use the same animal. If we had been in class, I would have had you guys pick then, but stuff happens. All right, so I'm here. I'll be here all day. I'll be here and happy to answer your questions if you get stuck on how to do this. Well, hopefully this little tutorial helped you understand what I want you to do and how I want you to do it. All right, well, I hope you guys are having a good day. Have a good rest of your weekend. I'll see you later.